Hello, if you remember on the sixth video, part 1, I was showing you ways to introduce words and giving you some mind hangers. So what I thought I would do is go through the word list and show you some of the ideas I have. I'm sure you will have your own ideas that work for you. Remember, you open the book and right on the front cover are the words you need. Failing that, you can go on the internet on sunriseliteracy.com and you will find the words that you can print out, which is what I have done here. I've done the big ones. There's little square ones that you can play games with. And there's even smaller ones which you can send home. I have the second book here. These ones would be the ones that I would send home so that the children were learning them with their parents. Remember what I said in the beginning? It's not a good idea to just have a list of the words because we want the children to be building sentences and have them free range. We also don't want them to remember it like a poem. We want them to actually think what they are seeing. So let's get cracking. I'm going through the front of my book. One word that's quite difficult, funnily enough, for the children is. Why would you think it's difficult? Because it's very small. It's very small. And we have in, and we have is, and we have it, and we have if. But very cleverly, the authors of this book have only introduced is in this book, so the children can get to grips with it. Most of them will already have learned is the insect or impy ink or whatever you use for your sound. So that makes it easier. And here I would draw around it like I showed you. Remember, go down from the left, around, and up with the little pimple. Okay, you could make a song and dance and go in around the S to make them more clear on that. But this one hasn't got a lot of hangers that I can give for you. Is. You just get them to say it and say it. And there is the capital, is. What I would do is help the children to compare them so that they are observing. Remember, reading is all about observing. What's the difference? Let's have a look. If I draw around, the second is. What do you notice is different? And it will be the pimple on the top, of course. Is. So that's what I would do. Now we come to see. Now, how do you see things? You see things with your eyes. Now, we already have look, so that's a bit tricky for us to do that. But I do help the children to say, we look right here. But when we want to see something, we have to sometimes see it far away and we squeeze our eyes so we can see it. Or something very small. So we squeeze our eyes. And so in this one, the eyes are squeezed. See. Again, there's the capital one. Just compare the beginning so the children observe. Now, a very fun character in the book is Rex. Now, when I would introduce him, I would find him in the book because there's beautiful, beautiful pictures of Rex. So does anybody know who this puppy is? Have you got a puppy? Talk about puppies' names, wada. And, sorry, the wada is like etc. I use a lot of slang. I'm really sorry about that. Excuse me, I'll try not to do it again. And then I would show the name Rex. Okay, Rex. Now this is a very interesting letter. We don't use it very often, so that's kind of fun. And I like to think of it as Rex's legs just moving. You can see in the pictures that he's a very busy dog. He runs around and his legs kick up and kick out. And he's Mr. Busy, Mr. Rex. I tell a story to help them remember. Go. So here, Golden Girl is saying, go. She's swinging her hand out. Go. And I show them with my hand, go, much like I do with come. All right? Now, I use a phonics scheme where we call this a go-kart. a go-kart. So the character, whose name is Golden Girl, she sits in her go-kart and she can go, go, go. So it ties in very well with my phonics. But for you, you might not use that. So you could just have it as a wagon, a go-kart, and she must roll down the hill. She's got to go, go, go. Or they just memorize it. You don't have to have a story. Here is quite a hard word, and we have there coming up in book 2. So here, I help them look at it. I draw around it like I usually would. And I would say that this R is a pointer. Let me get into screen. And he's pointing. Come here, come here, come here. And if you look at your finger, doesn't it look like that? And maybe he's saying, sit here, not on the chair. I want you on the floor. Sit here. Do you get that? The little finger thing. And then there's the H is different there. You could build a story about rugby posts and kick it here, here, here to score. Then we have these very straight words, funnily enough, are hard for the children to remember. So we do have to do some little gimmicks. Let me see. We've got run. So I'm going to start where I always start, on the left, go. But this time, I'm going to go in the letters, not in the spaces. Okay, often in a school, you will be doing your cross-country season, and the children have to run up and down, run, run, run. Now again, I would take this out and make a practical lesson of it, where the children have to run and jump over something and go under something, so that it feels like they're running a pattern like this, so that they can relate when they see it. Run, run, run. And here's the capital. So he's got to run, run, run. Usually with the capitals, I just help them to look at the first letter and tie it in. Next word is jump. Now I had a huge windstorm sweep through my study here, and the jump from the computer printout is missing in action. I don't know where it is. So I wrote it again. Remember, when you write, you must be very careful to write beautifully. I have seen some people who write a little bit quickly. As infants teachers, we should have quite nice writing. I'm not the best writer, but I do try very hard to keep everything nice. So here's my jump, and I love it. Now again, once again, in my phonics scheme, I have a jumping Jim, and he jumps and puts his legs up like that. So he jumps so high, his hat falls off. Jumping, jumping, and you see his hat falls off. So that's a story I tell with jump. And there's the capital jump, and you say he's gone so high, we can't even see his cap. He jumped so high, his legs go right over the road. Whereas here, he's jumping up and down. So his legs go under the chair or the road. And now another one that's fun is play. Play. And play is a playful word, isn't it? Because it goes down and around and straight, and then it makes a little swing, goes down, up, oop. It's a playful word. Play. He's going up, he's going down in a tunnel, he's going swinging, he's going again. If you wanted to, you could use this like an obstacle course in your playground if you have swings and slides and things like that. So you can play, and you say, let's play. And you say to the children, every time I say play, you can run and do the course. What am I saying? Play. What am I doing? Jump. And you can use these verbs as helpers in a PE lesson, or just in the classroom, in your vocabulary lesson. You can be doing these things. Okay, everybody, when I show you this sign, what does it say? Run, and then they have to run. It's like Simon says. They have to read it and then act upon it. Now, another very cute character in our book is Fluff. Where's Fluff? Fluff's very cute. It's a teddy. I showed you in the beginning that Jenny loved her stuffed toys. And you can see right on the front, she has a pram with her stuffed toys. Now that little purple creature is Fluff. And Fluff, I'm just trying to find him in the book. I would use the book to introduce him. So there we are. And talk about teddies and talk about stuffed toys and what have you got. And then tell them that this little purple one is called Fluff. And actually, his name even looks fluffy because he's got fur sticking out all over. So Fluff, Fluff. Obviously, if they've learned their phonics already, it's very easy because it starts with a f. But we're not assuming they know their beginning sounds. And remember, some words do not begin with a clear phonic sound, do they? Like over. No. And then we have find. Again, it's a verb. So once you've introduced your verbs, you can play games with them. All right? I wouldn't introduce them all on one day because this find and jump is a funny thing that they get confused by. You wouldn't see that because you've already learnt it. But the F has a curl like a J. The I has a dot like the J. And I see the children pause on these ones and think, is it jump or is it find? So don't introduce those two on the same day if possible. So with find, you say, uh-oh, he's lost his hat and now he's looking for it. Can you see how the F is looking everywhere? He's trying to find his toys. He's trying to find his friend. Find. So he's got a hand here, like looking everywhere. Find, find, find. Even when the daddy find comes, he has much bigger hands, but he's also looking everywhere. Find, find, find. Then this the. These prepositions are quite hard for the children to remember. The. Now on here, I point out that chicken test, or the T, has a tongue that sticks out. Can you see the tongue is sticking out? Now this is very interesting because some children in their language, they really struggle with the sound. It's almost like it's only in English. So we can practice that with them. So that's a good chance to practice. Everybody go like this. Put your tongue out, make a wind. Can you see this word? It's got its tongue sticking out as well. And this word says, or you can say the, because you know there's a th and a th. So he says, the. Everybody do it? The. And it tickles in their tongue, and they have super fun with that. Okay, and then the capital the, you say, well, now he's very comfortable, and he's a little bit rude. So he goes, the. And he's a bit rude and sticks his tongue away but out. Or you can make another story. It doesn't really matter. Now, this one, my. Can you see how the M is? It looks like something's hugging. Hey? It's hugging. And I always say the M is hugging me. Watch my hands. If I put my things down, if I do this with my hands, I bend them over. And I'm just hugging. It's my favorite book. It's my mom. It's my dad. It's my. And there's the capital. You just say these are bendy elbows. All right? My. The last word is car. Again, very flat. Don't maybe do run and car on the same day because they're both 3 letters and they're both very flat to look at. But I do use this to make it look a bit like a car. So I imagine, because we're driving this way, do you remember? We're driving this way. So this is the little driver, and these are his arms. He's driving on the steering wheel, car. Okay, and then this here, these are the wheels. It's like a speed car. It's like a racing car, so it's really low. And then if I draw around it, I make it very round here. So it looks like wheels. Do you see? I'm sorry, it's a bit wobbly. Can you see that? Yeah. So I've emphasized the round at the bottom instead of the round at the top. Car, car. And this is one of those jumbo cars with extra big wheels, those big trucks that go in the mine. Car or a tractor. Car, car, car. And those would be the things I would try to use to introduce the words. You wouldn't talk about them every time. If you see there's a bit of a block the second day when you use them, then remember the story. Say, remember the wheels, and then a car. Remember the swing. Remember the go-kart. And then that helps them to have their mind hangers. So I hope that's helpful. And I think, as I said, introduce 3 or 4 words a day. Sometimes you will do 4 and the next day 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, just so that children have time to get that through. That doesn't take very many days. Let's count how many words there are in the book. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23 words. So honestly, in 2 weeks, you've done the words. And that's perfect timing. And I'll tell you why in the next video.